From the Edge of the Web studios, here's what we're looking at this week.
All right, so welcome back to the Site Strategics Digital Marketing News Desk. This is the bonus news podcast and video for Edge of the Web episode 352. And I'm your host, Aaron Sparks. Joining me this week to take on all the digital news is Kristine Schachinger. So let's look at our first article today. All right, from Search Engine Journal, we always love the content coming out of SEJ. This is by Matt Southern. LinkedIn engagement up 76% from work from home content. So the engagement for work from home posts have been on an even greater rise, particularly in the United States. Although all the posts are resonating, not all of them are resonating with users. Data shows that it's the tone that makes the difference as to what content drives the most engagement. So what we're seeing here is there's a huge spike in all of this content that's happening on LinkedIn, and it's a obviously so, because everybody's engaging more on social than we have seen literally in the past couple of years. I would take a gander at that. But Kristine, what's your thought about this engaging content and all the work from home tips and tricks and guides all around LinkedIn? Is that really where it should be? And have you used any of them? Let me ask you that.
Oh, gosh. Well, as you know, I was sick for a good portion of since it started.
Yeah.
So I haven't really been as in depth into things like this yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I think people are just looking for answers and ways to survive. I've been a consultant for a long time, so downturns and loss of clients and, the economy affecting my business are fairly standard for me.
Right.
But for a lot of people, this is all new territory. So they're probably looking for the best answers they can find to work in a time of complete uncertainty.
That's a good point because, we are used to a lot of remote working, just being in the digital space, but there are companies that have never experienced this before, and you better believe there's a heck of a lot of fear of business owners whenever their team have to be remote working. There's a lot of just trepidations of maybe some old school companies that have just been leapfrogged into the 2020s, right?
You're right. Yeah. And it's hard to manage businesses remotely if you've never done it.
Yeah.
I've done it for a long time as a consultant. I've worked with one company for 3 years and never met a single person. But that's not standard for the way most people work. And and it was quite an adjustment when I first started. And I imagine for a lot of people being thrown into the deep end is been quite difficult.
No, absolutely. But the technology is there in such value right now. Zoom, all the different platforms that have been evolving pre-COVID. What a fantastic environment to be able to utilize right now. Because honestly, I'm not getting any reports that Zoom has bandwidth issues. You may know differently, but I haven't seen many crash reports of this technology.
No, I think they've done okay there. Their problem has been mostly security issues, but I know that they're fixing those as quickly as possible, and that their enterprise level software is HIPAA compliant.
Oh, wow.
So if you're a large company, you're probably using their enterprise level as opposed to the free one that most of us use.
Right. Very cool. Yeah. Well, moving on again with the type of new messaging and new areas where we as society are utilizing over The Verge by Casey Newton. Messenger rooms are Facebook's answer to Zoom and House Party for the pandemic. Facebook is actually rolling out a suite of new products to expand its capabilities in video chat. The company today actually announced Messenger Rooms, a tool for starting virtual hangouts with up to 50 people and allowing friends to drop in whenever you like. It's also doubling the capacity of video calls on WhatsApp from 4 people to 8 people, adding video calls to Facebook Dating and adding new live stream features to both Facebook and Instagram. So not only doubling down, that's quadrupling down their investment of live stream technology. So as much as we're now interacting more and more on the social media level, Kristine, what are your, since you are experienced in remote working and kind of the gig economy and working with a number of different employees and what have you, how distracting is video content on a social media platform? As it applies to actually interacting. Let me qualify that.
So how do you mean distracting?
Well, I guess my question is, we've all been inside Facebook and entertaining ourselves with different video and different news content, what have you. But now Facebook's actually getting into the interactive element where they're trying to provide a really good community sessions to be able to communicate. So we're all going to be inside Facebook, and I just see if we're using this as some sort of employee get together or work environment, having that inside of Facebook, and it's all like a click away. Liken it to this is that I've got 4 kids, and they're on e-learning. All of them are on e-learning, and a tab away is YouTube, right? So,
yeah.
I mean. Embracing Facebook for employee relationships where they can actually go and navigate and get themselves lost in Facebook. Is that really the best plan there?
Yeah, I could see what you're saying. Definitely. I'm not sure. And I'm not sure how people adopt Facebook. They haven't done well with video technology. If you remember Live when it rolled out, that was really exciting until you tried to use it. And every time I tried to do something live, like they couldn't handle the signal, they couldn't handle the rate, they couldn't handle the speed.
Oh, exactly.
And eventually it just dropped off, and I rarely see anybody doing that anymore. And people have already started using Zoom, a lot of people who aren't technical.
Right.
And they're used to it, and it's easy and it's simple, and they can do the funny backgrounds and the snap camera and all that. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure if people are just jump off into Facebook. I mean, they might, but I think there might be more of like, well, I'm already doing this, so why change to something else? But
yeah, I really don't think that employers are going to be utilizing it. But I mean, groups and getting together with friends, absolutely. I mean, that's what Facebook's all about. But if they're trying to reach those employers and be able to have employee type of sessions, boy, that'd be the wrong place I'd focus my employees. Just saying.
And I also think that a lot of people don't use Zoom for professional either. Most of the people I know, their companies are using Google, or there's a couple, there's a couple other softwares.
Right.
Yeah, I think they just have a more professional feel about them, so they're just more likely to be used.
Yep.
But if you have a group of people like teachers at home, or a group of people that aren't that technical and don't have this stuff already installed on their computers, Zoom has been a nice avenue for them.
Oh, absolutely. So. Absolutely. I did witness like 30 third graders all using Zoom at the same time. And the look on the teacher's face, just trying to herd those virtual cats, right?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Did you hear this story real quick about the girl who posted a picture of herself in the Zoom and then went to play with her dog? And the girl's 10, and the mom was like, what are you doing? It's like, the teacher won't notice. There's 30 of us in the class. She can't tell the difference.
I heard about a kid that changed his name to loading ... I think it's reconnecting ...
That's a really good one.
You're going to see so many innovative things come out of this. I mean, if the software companies really are astute, there's a lot of beta testing and new opportunities that they can mine from.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Third article here, and this is tying in directly to what we're going to be talking about today. From Barry Schwartz over at Search Engine Land, Google launches search tips for when the query doesn't really return great matches. Google today actually announced it is launching a new feature that tries to help you rephrase your query when the search engine cannot find relevant results on the web. And there's a big asterisk right there, folks. Google said it's rolling out this into the U.S. today, a new message that lets you know when Google hasn't been able to find anything that matches your search particularly well. Again, maybe another asterisk right there. So we're getting into relevancy, and we're going to be talking about that on the show today. But what are your thoughts, Kristine, regarding this new additional message? It's not showing up in the search bar. It's actually it's showing up on the results page with suggestions of what you should be searching. What do you think?
Yes, I just saw that on a search I did yesterday. But I was looking for Walmart pharmacy locations in Vegas, so it shouldn't have been a search that they had trouble with.
Right.
So, but they did.
Wow.
They have a lot of trouble because they geolocate me in LA. And they used to be able to, I used to be able to put Vegas in there and then it would just find a Vegas location. But now the location data overwrites my query. So it just tells me that it thinks I'm in LA. So I got one of those boxes. So I told them it might be good to return results for Vegas when I typed in Vegas.
Yeah, that'd be helpful. That'd be helpful. But now they're taking a step towards guidance of your search. That's not really what you wanted to search. This is what you wanted to search over here. And you can only imagine that eventually there's going to be a sponsored by small blue link underneath that suggested search. Just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, as Google dials in more and more towards relevancy and knowledge of entities in the knowledge panel space, is we got to be careful here, but do you think that it could be another sign of just a bit more overreach in guiding and suggesting content as opposed to being what the search engine is supposed to be? Providing the information that you are actually searching for. What do you think about that?
I think they have a problem with the way that they do search now because they have to mix entities and match them, and then they use the vector relationship of the entities to determine the relationship between the words, and I think that they've gotten a little bit of quagmire because it used to be the links and other items on the page would tell them what the page was about.
Right.
And it was a little bit more squishy, a little more fuzzy. But now that they have to link things to other things, it becomes more and more difficult for them to bring back relevancy. If you're doing micro moment queries, they're really good at that. They're really good at, what review and what time. And,
right.
But if you're looking for informational queries, often it's very difficult for what I search to find any results at all.
Right.
And they ignore all the keywords and bring back a completely irrelevant result. So I think now they're trying to figure out how to fix that problem.
Yeah.
By having you tell what you were
exactly.
What you thought would be a better query.
Yeah. So they're using us to actually train its machine learning.
Of course.
That. Well, we're always doing that, but now it's going to have a nice big link. Hey, is this what you were looking for? Well, yes, it was. There's feedback loop right there.
Exactly.
All right. So that's the article for the day. We're certainly going to be talking a good deal more about the Google Core updates of recent days. We do want to actually finish up in thanking Ahrefs for continued sponsorship on Edge of the Web. Ahrefs, if you haven't come across it, makes competitive analysis very, very easy. Their tools show you how competitors are getting traffic from Google and why. You can see the pages, the content, the inbound links from all of the different ranking pages that they've got there, and you can use that to deconstruct and be able to put together your strategy for success. So if you haven't checked out Ahrefs, it's ahrefs.com. You can jump on there. I think they have a new special going on, 7 days for $7, $1 a day. You can have incredible data. I mean, this is a treasure trove of insight and value. So go over there today and check out all the tools, including the site audit. That audit tool is a fantastic piece of machinery there. So check them all out at ahrefs.com. That's it for the Edge News this week. Be sure to check out the full interview with Kristine Schachinger on the linked video as well as the linked show notes here. Be sure to check, like and subscribe and comment on how we're doing on the show over at our YouTube channel to get, and smack the bell. That's what the kids say, right? Hit the bell to get reminded when we go live each and every Monday, as close as we can at 3 p.m. Eastern. And hey, carve out a little bit of time and sit down with us, and we'd love to have more and more engagement live on our comments. So check out everything over at edgeofthewebradio.com. That's edgeofthewebradio.com. And be sure to check out our listeners poll. We still have that going. We're having some great feedback on what you want to hear more of. All right, so from all of us over at Edge of the Web, do not be a piece of cyber driftwood. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.